African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the Special Military Operation 25th of August, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Vovchansk and Liptsov directions inflicted defeat on formations of the 82nd Airborne Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 36th Marine Brigade, the 13th National Guard Brigade, and the 117th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Velika Pisarevka in the Sumy region, Perdyanka, Liptsov, and Vovchansk in the Kharkiv region. The enemy's losses amounted to 130 servicemen, an armored personnel carrier, an armored combat vehicle, and 4 122mm D-30 howitzers. Units of the West Group of Forces occupied more advantageous lines and inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 14th, 44th, 45th Mechanized, 3rd Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 112th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Berestovoy, Kolesnikovka, Novosinovo, Petropavlovka, Novovodinoye, and Serebryanka. 5 counterattacks by assault groups of the 66th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 1st and 4th Brigades of the National Guard, and the 12th Special Forces Brigade Azov were repelled. The enemy lost up to 510 servicemen, a Cossack combat armored vehicle, and 9 vehicles. During the counter-battery fire, the following were destroyed: 2 155mm howitzers M777 and M198 made in the U.S., a 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Crab made in Poland, 3 122mm howitzers D-30, a 105mm gun M119 made in the U.S., and 3 electronic warfare stations Anklavin and Kvirtis. 4 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved their positions, inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 24th, 28th, 30th, 32nd, 54th Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 46th Airmobile, 79th Airborne Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 37th Marine Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Peryezhnoye, Zalizniansk, Grigorovka, Regorodok, Chesavyar, Kurdiamovka, Pleshievka, Kurakovo, Katerinovka, and Konstantinovka. A counterattack by the formations of the 59th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was repelled. In one day, the enemy lost up to 630 servicemen, a U.S.-made Abrams tank, an armored combat vehicle, and 17 vehicles. In addition, during the counter-battery battle, the following were destroyed: a 155mm self-propelled artillery unit M109 Paladin made in the U.S., 2 155mm howitzers M777 and M198 made in the U.S., 2 152mm howitzers D-20, 4 122mm howitzers D-30, a 105mm gun M119 made in the U.S. 3 ammo depots destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces continue to advance deep into the enemy's defenses and also defeated the formations of the 32nd, 110th Mechanized, 25th Airborne, 71st Ranger Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 109th, 111th, 129th Territorial Defense Brigades, and the 15th National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Seladovo, Galicinovka, Vozdvizenka, Tarasovka, Grodovka, Rozovka, Toretsk, Memrik, and Dimitrov of the Donetsk People's Republic. 7 counterattacks by units of the 100th, 150th, 151st Mechanized, 68th Jaeger Brigades, 49th Assault Battalion of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and the 14th National Guard Brigade were repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to over 500 soldiers, 2 tanks, 9 vehicles, a 152mm Jayatsin B gun, a 152mm D-20 gun, and a 122mm D-30 howitzer. Units of the East Group of Forces improved their tactical position, defeated the manpower and equipment of the 58th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 105th Brigade, and the 48th Assault Battalion of Territorial Defense in the areas of the settlements of Ugledar, Vodyanoye, Shakhtarsk, Prechistovka, Zolote and Niva of the Donetsk People's Republic, and Novodorovka of the Zaporizhia region. 2 counterattacks by units of the 72nd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. Over the course of a day, the enemy lost up to 130 servicemen, an infantry fighting vehicle, an armored combat vehicle, 5 cars, a French-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Caesar, and 2 Bukovl-AD electronic warfare stations. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on formations of the 65th Mechanized, 141st Infantry Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 35th Marine Brigade, and the 124th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Novodanilovka in the Zaporizhia region, Kherson, Tokarevka, and Dniprovskoye in the Kherson region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 60 servicemen, 5 vehicles, 2 152mm D-20 howitzers, and an Anklavin electronic warfare station. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the groups of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation hit the temporary deployment point of foreign mercenaries, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 147 districts. Air defense systems shot down 8 U.S. Mars rockets and 41 unmanned aerial vehicles. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 640 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 30,475 unmanned aerial vehicles, 575 anti-aircraft missile systems, 17,566 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,425 multiple launch rocket systems, 13,621 field artillery and mortar guns, and 25,200 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.